we have a very relatively good blog post here today. We're going to talk about the things that I find the most exciting first. No more RTA. Yes, no more worrying about hero nodes and villain nodes. It's kind of a big deal. 7-day login strike. Now, I'm just going to make an assumption that most people that are watching this video log in every day. I think I've logged in every day for 4 years now. It is what it is. I'm on a much longer than a 7-day long login streak. So I'm sure there's some people and some alliances that don't care, but they're going to give some bonuses, and some of them are relatively small, but a lot of them are really good. Now, the one thing that we don't know is this 7-day long streak going to be retroactive when the patch goes live? Let's say the patch comes next Tuesday, or is it going to start then you have to log in for 7 days, and then the 7-day bonuses kick in a week from then? That is not thing, but we're going to get auto completed daily objectives and daily arena battles. Complete 2 arena battles. If you don't want to play arena anymore, you won't have to. No more RTA. If you don't want to play RTA and you just want to blitz or whatever, you can do that. This is probably the most significant. Now, I know, like for me, what I do to satisfy this obligation on a daily basis is farm for like SBCs in villains, SBCs in heroes, but that isn't always the best thing. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my energy doing that. And I know this has been a common complaint on Reddit for a long time. So no longer, if you have that 7-day login bonus, and once that's enabled, which I believe most people are going to have, it's no longer going to be required to do 3 villains and 3 hero nodes. That's a big deal. Same thing, the auto win 3 missions, and no longer the need to do 2 battles and blitz. Now, the thing is there's still RTA milestones, and I feel like a lot of this stuff we're going to do automatically, but now we're going to have this stuff. It's going to be automatic, which I think is a step in the right direction. Specifically, like if you're a person that likes to blitz and doesn't want to do RTA, if you're wasting energy doing the heroes and villains. So this is a good thing. I'm pretty excited about this. Mostly I'm excited because now I won't have to do RTA anymore. Raid Sim. Now, some people were expecting a autocomplete, like if you 3-star a campaign node. It doesn't look like it's going to be that. I still think this is going to be a relatively good thing, but it is not perfect. Available on Doom, Ultimates, and Greek raids and select nodes. I don't know why it's not all nodes. We'll be able to use the new Raid Sim feature. I'm guessing that this means that you won't be able to sim a lot of things, like because it'll fail, just like a blitz sim, right? The aim of the Raid Sim is allow you to cruise through the easier, earlier nodes, afford you more time to strategy for the more difficult late nodes. Doom raids and Ultimates raids allow you to sim approximately 60%. Now that's what's strange to me, because the Doom raids are symmetrical. Depends if you go on the left lane or the right lane, but it's just mirrored, right? One of them starts off with bio early and ends with mutant. The other one is basically just reversed. So that doesn't, and are we really going to sim any of that other than maybe the bio lanes and the mystic lanes? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to, for sure not going to be able to sim tech or mutant, maybe not even skill. Doom raids and Ultimates raids will allow you to sim approximately 60% of the raid, while you'll be able to sim approximately 80% of the Greek raids. I don't know why it's not just 100%. Let us chance it. We'll be closely monitoring the effects of Raid Sim overall gameplay to ensure they're having the intended impact. There's also other risks with simming raiding. I'm guessing it'll mess up your cooldowns. And also, Greek raids are basically going to be turned off for the start of the patch, because we're going to be getting the Gambit raids. So, like, the main place that we would use this and actually save time is not going to happen. Like, I feel like the Doom raids, you're probably not going to want to sim. The Greek raids, you're going to want to sim, but we're not going to be playing the Greek raids for the 2 weeks of this patch. It is what it is. Now, let's talk about the 2 new Asgardians coming to the game, and that is going to be Valkyrie and Mighty Thor Jane Foster. They look like they're going to be, it's possible that they could be used on war offense and war defense. Her kit is mostly set up to just says war, doesn't say defense or offense, but her kit is definitely more set up for war defense. And so how important is that to you? We'll talk about it. But in my opinion, there's 2 problems with war defense teams before I read the kits. The two problems are as follows: is one, you don't get to play the team. Okay. And then secondly, historically in Marvel Strike Force, war defensive teams have a shelf life before a counter is discovered or a counter is actually sold to us. Scopely usually creates a problem by creating an insanely difficult war defense team, and then they sell us a solution. So they have a history of doing that for a long time now. So let's get into Mighty Thor. A big fan of Natalie Portman, Jane Foster. Mighty Thor is a controller for the hero Asgardians. So Heroes and Guardians is going to be basically Sif, Heimdall, Thor. Mighty Thor and Valkyrie, featuring high focus and health stats to help her thrive in battle. Like a bolt of lightning, Mighty Thor is a surge of power role, and the team is to provide charge to her Asgardian hero allies. So it's going to make reference to chargeable hero Asgardians, which is going to be Thor, Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, and Valkyrie. Sif and Heimdall do not have a charge mechanic on their team. This mechanic will allow Thor's passive ability to trigger more frequently and make Valkyrie's ultimate passive abilities more powerful. Thor has an ability when he gets to 5 charges, he does an AoE attack. It's very, very powerful. Not to be outdone, the Goddess of Thunder all possesses a passive attack that triggers after collecting 5 charge. She's going to be hero, cosmic, mystic, controller. I feel like even myself and a lot of people I've been talking to are still pretty strapped right now when it comes to mystic gear. That is going to be a problem. Let's go to her passive first, Goddess of Thunder. At the end of enemy turn, if this character has 5 or more charge, attack the enemy with the highest damage that does not have trauma and do damage and lose 5 charged. And then I believe these next 2 lines are part of that ability also. In war, and it doesn't say defense or offense, it just says war. In war, apply trauma. So she's going to target the highest damage character that does not have trauma. And in war, she's going to be applying trauma to them. And in war, she's going to be ignoring defense up. That is going to be a reoccurring thing on the rest of her kit, is that it ignores defense up. And when we get to Valkyrie, she does extra damage for death proof. If the character has death proof, she's like an anti-death proof character, where Thor right here has a lot of mechanics that talk about defense up on the opposing team. On turn, heal self for 5% of max health and 5% of max health per 9 million Asgardian ally. That is a typical mechanic on the other Asgardians as well. When this character or hero Asgardian attacks an enemy, catch this, apply 1 charge to all chargeable hero Asgardians. So when any hero Asgardian, Heimdall, Sif, and Thor, and these 2 new ones, they're going to, 3 of the characters are going to be getting charged. So they're getting renewed on their charge quite a bit. So Thor, Valkyrie, and Jane Foster Thor will be getting charged all the time. Gain 25% health. And then in war, it doesn't say defense or offense. Heroes, Guardian allies gain 25% max health, gain 50% resistance to heal block. And then Heroes, Guardians also gain 50% resistance to heal block. Let's go to her ultimate ability, Ride the Lightning, which is 7/7. Attack all enemies for piercing and flip 2 positive effects into negative effects. Apply blind to the primary target, gain 3 charged. And then again, there's that going through defense up. And I believe all of her abilities will have that. Then her special, energy cost 5/5. Attack the primary target for 350% piercing. Attack all adjacent targets for piercing. If the primary target has stun, reduce the target speed bar by 25%. If they do not have stun, apply disruptive for 2 turns. And then in war, this attack ignores defense up. And I believe that Valkyrie's kit has a stun. We don't know the speeds, but I mean, I guess that the turn order on this is that there's a good chance they're going to have stun, possibly from Valkyrie, but I don't know that for sure. We'll get to Valkyrie's kit here in a minute. Basic hammer slammer. If the attack primary target for piercing and clear 2 positive effects, again, in war, this attack ignores defense up. So, pretty cool mechanics right here. I believe the idea is that when we look at Valkyrie's kit, probably going to be up on defense because of the way the reworks are and Valkyrie's kit. But technically, there's an option here that you can use them on offense. What I'm trying to say is that the way this passive works and how it's feeling charged to the other 2 members on this team that have charge mechanics, I believe the AI will play it pretty well. So this is going to kind of be like, from what I'm looking at, not nearly as bad as Heroes for Hire, but probably, you know, along the same levels of, let's say, Young Avengers. But we'll see. Valkyrie. Let's go on to Valkyrie. This hero Asgardian warrior prefers to get her hands dirty as a brawler with high damage and health steps. Along with cutting down foes, Valkyrie also applies positive effects to her allies upon a hero Asgardian death. We're going to get to this, but I imagine this is going to be super annoying with Dormammu. If there's a possibility this team could be paired up with Dormammu. We'll get to that. Empowering the survivors to avenge the fallen. The powerful passive abilities allows the heroes as guardians to turn the tide of battle should an enemy manage to pick off someone from their ranks. Hero cosmic skill, not mystic. Thank goodness. I believe that we probably have more access currently to skill than we do mystic gear. Brawler Asgardian. Let's go to her passive, and her passive, it does look like it's more of a, you know, kind of like a mini boss node, like the kind we have right now with Heroes for Hire. We're gonna read it and you can see what I'm talking about. On turn, heal self for 5% max health and 5% per Asgardian ally. Again, all the Asgardians have a mechanic like that. And gain 20 and 10% damage up to a maximum of 30% damage. When this character or a hero Asgardian ally dies, 50% chance to perform the following actions. Now, it's 100% on war defense. So this is going to always happen on war defense. All of this stuff is going to happen. 50% chance when it's not on war defense. Clear all negative effects. Apply safeguard. Oof. Apply the following positive effects for 2 turns. Immunity, offense up, defense up. Then generate 1 ability energy. Heal for 20% of this character's health. And 8% per charge on this character and lose all charge. So the question is like, how is this going to play out with Dormammu? Oh my God, right? I feel like that seems like a potential mess. We will see. And this is a war, 50% chance normally, but on war defense, that'll happen always. Also, gain 25% crit chance as Guardian allies gain 25% crit chance. It kind of means that there's the possibility of using Raider. I believe I'm currently already using Raider on Thor, but this makes Raider a lot more viable. On war defense, on spawn, apply offense down to all enemies. On war defense, lower the assist chance for all enemies by 20% per cosmic enemy up to a maximum of 100%. So that is a nerf to 2 potentially important teams, well 3 maybe, but that'll negatively impact clearly Infinity Watch in the assist from Nebula, the Skirmisher Striker combo, but also Eternals. There's a lot of assist mechanics that typically go on with Cersei and Icarus, and then technically also Young Avengers with America Chavez. She's technically cosmic, but that's only one person on the team. So it is definitely a clear call out, in my opinion, to Infinity Watch. Now let's go to her kit, and this particular, her ultimate does mention charge, and there is a question to how many stacks of charge she can get. Her basic attack references 10. I'm not 100% sure if this will cap out at 10 or not, because if it does go above 10, I believe that this ultimate can be quite broken with a lot of stacks of charge. Energy cost 5-7, attack primary target for damage and apply ability block. If the primary target has death proof, this attack deals an additional 50% damage, and all of her abilities have some sort of anti-death proof bonus damage type thing, because she's kind of anti-death proof from what it looks like. If this character has charge, rebound chain to 1 adjacent enemy per 2 charge on this character for 280% damage. Damage for each additional chain attack is reduced by 20%. If the target has death proof, this attack deals an additional 50% damage. So the question is, and then lose charges, counterattacks, breaks this chain. So the question is like, well, what if, can she have 30 charges? Can she have 50 charges? Is it capped? We'll read it here in her basic kit, and I believe it's going to be capped at 10, but we'll have to see. So this is kind of interesting, and she's going to be getting charges from Jane Foster. Then we've got her special Valkyrie's charge, energy cost 5-5, so this can go off turn 1. Apply 2 counter, defense up for 2 turn, and offense up for self and all heroes getting allies. attack the primary target for 400% damage and apply stun. And that's what I was making reference in Jane Foster's kit, is if she's faster, then Jane Foster's kit kind of makes sense, right? And we can go back and look at that. If the primary target has death proof, this attack deals an additional 100% damage. So if Valkyrie's faster than Jane Foster, a target could have stun, and then that's going to be followed up by Jane Foster, then it's going to be followed up with Jane Foster on her special ability right here, where it says if the primary target has stun, reduce the target speed bar by 25%. We will see. Then her basic attack on Valkyrie talks about charges. Attack primary target for 275% damage. Bonus attack for 275% damage. Wow, that's a lot of damage. If the primary target has death proof, each attack deals an additional 50% damage. If the primary target has death proof, apply bleed to the primary target. If the primary target has death proof, transfer 1 death proof from the primary target to the most injured ally. And then right here, if the primary target has death proof, gain 1 charge up to maximum 10. Now, initially, a lot of people have said, hey, maybe we could put Striker on her instead of Raider. I'm not sure, because here's the thing. Basic attack is not the ISO attack. It is not the assist counter attack, or what the developers call the safety attack. Typically, we don't have information like what the safety attack is and whether or not she would be good Striker or Raider until the information is available on MSF.gg. It's actually not in game at all. All right, so it is what it is. We'll have to find out, but Striker might make good sense. So other things here in the blog post I want to mention, there's also farmability on a Silver Surfer. So we're going to skip through all of this right here, and we're going to get to some of the details on the events. Ace of Raids, this is going to line up with the Gambit Raids. Arriving with the limited time Gambit Raids on June 15, your chance to hit rewards jackpots with the Ace of Raids event. Stack up Gambit character shards, progress with Rolling Rebels with disco balls, and more during this milestone event will run twice. So this is the Gambit Raids are going to start when the patch drops, and then that's going to run for 2 weeks, and then there's going to be 2 individual 7-day milestone events that are going to line up with that. Ace of Raids event milestones. Battle your way through the Gambit Raids to earn points towards a 7-day milestone that runs twice. The first run will reward Gambit character shards, disco balls, mutant gear, T4 ability materials, gold orbs, and more. While the second run will include all those rewards alongside Dazzler's Glimmer Bracelet. So that's going to be the big chunk of points for the month-long Dazzler event. The balls, the disco ball event, earning you 10,000 milestone points for Rolling Rebel. The higher the Gambit raid difficulty and the further you go in the raid lanes, the more of Ace of Raid milestone progress you'll earn. So there's a normal difficulty, and then it scales 1 through 9. And the 9th difficulty, I believe they said, would take gear tier 16. And then like the 7th and 8th, gear tier 15 would be the recommendation according to the data mines. Earn Gambit playing cards through clearing nodes and Gambit raids, and rank rewards at the end of each Gambit raid. So there you go. Then there's going to be a milestone web event also running, where you'll have the ability of earning kinetic raid energy and kinetic health packs from battling war. So in the blog post from 2 days ago, they mentioned like that we didn't need to save any of our normal raid refreshes and raid heals because they're going to introduce a new currency, and I'm clearly obvious that they're going to be selling these, but they're also giving us a way to earn them, and that's going to be through the web store milestone. Head over to the milestone page starting June 15. Use Uncanny X-Men and Limited X-Men characters in a war. So Uncanny X-Men and also the Limited X-Men, you're going to want to use on offense. I know some people were running them on defense, like with the Astonishing X-Men, but it looks like for this event, you're going to want to pivot them onto offense. All right, there we go. Then we're going to have a Power Armor Strat. I believe we have an event like this running right now for Brotherhood, so this is going to line up with that. Morgan Le Fay ability. So this is the controversial kind of bad part or good part of the blog post, but basically they're going to have a relatively convoluted way of purchasing Morgan Le Fay shards. So if you are 5, 10, 15 shards short of Morgan Le Fay, they're going to give you a possible percent chance or maybe a certain way of getting and purchasing those shards so you don't have to wait. This is kind of strange to me because they've never sold legendary characters before. So they're technically now attempting to monetize legendary characters. So depending if you have a disposition to spend or not, this is a good or bad thing. Let's read it. The new Scourge events have provided the opportunity to revisit the availability of shards with new characters, especially the horsemen, as they unlock only at 3 stars. See, that's the reason why they allowed everybody to get a 3-star, so they could sell you more offers. With the return of the Pestilent Scourge event, still a couple months away. So we are going to get another version of the event, but it's a couple months away. We wanted to give the players the opportunity to purchase shards. We want to sell you stuff. We're doing you a favor by giving you the opportunity to sell you shards, right? The way they word this, my goodness. We want to give the people the blessing and the opportunity to grab some shards for Morgan Le Fay sooner than later. If you fell a bit short of unlocking Morgan Le Fay or close to her next star level, you'll want to check out the new and improved Pestilence Orb, which contains moderate quantities of Morgan Le Fay. I have no idea what that means to them. Does that mean 1 shard? Does that mean 2 shards? Does that mean half a shard? I'm not sure what their meaning of moderate quantities. We will have to see. Along with Darkhold, Dark Hunter, and Web Warrior characters, the old version of Pestilence Orbs had been renamed to the Astral Arachnid Orb, and will contain gear and character shards for Web Warriors and Dark Hunters. Be on the lookout for the offers that contain limited time quantities for fragments to open this new orb and get your Morgan Le Fay to the next level before her Scourge event returns. So this kind of reminds me of, they're not going to be selling you directly shards directly to Morgan Le Fay, but it's going to be like a bundle. It kind of feels like they're doing that right now with Gambit, right? Like they have these bundled offers, which have a lot of other things that you may or may not want at a higher price. So we're going to see how this plays out. What I'm going to be really interested to know, what is the hidden cost, the actual cost of doing this? It feels like they're trying to complicate it in certain ways. Gear name updates. This is just a technicality. They're renaming these for gear. And then we have 2 more very exciting things left in the blog post. Character availability. Doom campaign will be gaining the influence of Power Cosmic on June 14th. With the arrival of Silver Surfer to Node, Doom 1-9 and Negasonic will have a new home in the Raid store. And a lot of people, when we were looking at the kits for Valkyrie and Jane Foster, were saying, oh, Silver Surfer might be useful against that. That is certainly a possibility. We have one more thing that I think people want to read, and that is going to be that the Omega Red Legendary event will be coming on June 14th, which is going to be next week. And my friends in Australia have already sent me screenshots of the Red Death login calendar. There's also going to be an America Chavez Blitz. And then we're going to have the Gambit Raid, which starts on the day of the patch, I'm guessing. And that'll run for 2 weeks. Then we have the Power Over Quick Rumble, which we talked about. And then we're going to have the Skill Military Back to Boot Camp monthly event and Block Party 1 as well. Overall, I feel like this is a very good blog post. I don't usually get too excited about war defense teams. I'm a little bit cautious about how they're going to monetize selling Morgan Le Fay. I'm also, what does that mean for Rogue? Are they going to monetize Rogue as well? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming. They refreshed it. It's Jubilee now. They got rid of Omega Red. That's garbage. Oh my God. Oh my God.